Night in the HOA community always looked peaceful from outside. Quiet roads, same houses lined in perfect rows, same front lawns glowing under yellow streetlights. But inside walls people whispered about each other's life like gossip was oxygen. And nobody knew that behind one of these quiet houses lived a truth bigger than any rumor ever spoken. A truth hidden under the smile of a woman who never told her real story. Her name was Sarah Reed, wife of Daniel Reed, a simple man to everyone in this neighborhood, a man who wore jeans and work boots like second skin, a man who woke every day before sun touched windows, carried toolbox to garage, repaired old trucks for extra money, and never complained about small life because love made it complete for him. Daniel believed life here was safe, normal, predictable. He liked morning coffee, liked talking to neighbors about weather, liked hearing children playing by the park. But if someone looked deeper at his house, they would see something different in ways Sarah closed curtains before night, how she checked door locks twice, how her eyes scanned street when dog barked somewhere far. She was calm outside, polite, soft voice, always smiling in HOA meetings and always silent when neighbors complained about useless things like mailbox color or tree branches touching fence. Nobody questioned her silence. Nobody asked about her past, because everyone believed she was like Daniel, normal, simple. But truth was she carried fire inside. Chest, memory heavy like stone, truth sharp like knife, identity bigger than everything these neighbors thought they understood about world. She was former US Marshal who walked through danger like people walk through grocery store aisle, who faced criminals with cold eyes and steady hands, who protected witnesses, hunted killers, stood between law and chaos many times until one day she decided enough. One case broke her spirit when she saw a child die in crossfire. That day she left badge on table, left office, left identity, found Daniel and tried building new life out of silence and love. She never told Daniel whole truth. She told him she worked for government before, but not how deep she went, not how close she came to death many times. Daniel trusted her without questions because love stronger than curiosity for him. He believed if she wanted to tell him, she would. He never pushed. He never tried unlocking door she closed inside her own heart. He was happy fixing cars, happy being husband, happy feeling safe under her smile. But this night, at exactly 11:47 p.m., everything changed in one knock. It started with soft knock like someone didn't want to wake whole street. 3 short taps that made Daniel look up from his couch where he sat half asleep watching old show on TV. Sarah sitting beside him reading cookbook like normal night. Daniel frowned thinking maybe neighbor needs help or someone's dog escaped again. He stood, stretched arms, walked to door slowly, not afraid, not suspicious because this community full of small problems not big danger. But when he opened door halfway, his eyes saw something strange. 3 men stood outside wearing black jackets with word police printed in faded white letters. Jackets wrinkled like clothes taken from cheap costume shop, not standard uniform. Their posture stiff but faces nervous like boys pretending to be soldiers. Daniel confused, brain searching for answer why police come this late. He asked voice soft, "Hello? Can I help you?" First man stepped closer without greeting. Voice cold like he practiced authority in mirror. Said, "We are here for HOA inspection, open garage. We need to check tools and storage." Daniel blinked, confusion deep. Garage inspection at midnight? No police department does this. No officer speaks about HOA inspection like crime scene. Before Daniel could ask more, Sarah appeared behind him, standing little left, eyes scanning men like removing mask from their faces without touching them. Her mind trained to read danger under smiles and uniforms. She noticed small details in 1 second. Their badges looked cheap plastic, edges rough not metal smooth. Their shoes dirty with mud like they waited outside in field not working clean night. Patrol, no police radio sound from any of them, no belt equipment, no body cameras, and their jackets too heavy for warm night like they trying hide something under layers. Sarah breathed slow. Expression calm but inside heart beating like drum from old memories she tried to bury. She stepped closer without pushing Daniel aside. She whispered softly to him so only he hears, "These are not real cops." Daniel's eyes widened, confusion turning to fear because he trusted police. But if Sarah said fake, he believed her without question. Second man pushed door little with hand like he had right to enter house without warrant. Voice hard, "Move. This is official check." Sarah's eyes narrowed slightly like wolf ready to bite snake crawling near children. She said calm voice but sharp like blade, "Which department?" Men looked at each other like actors who forgot script. No answer came. Third man raised chin trying to look strong, but voice shaky when he said, "Central District." Sarah felt anger. Dark and cold inside because Central District closed 3 years back. She knew because she worked cases there. She controlled breath to hide anger. Daniel stood between confusion and anger, heart pounding because 3 strangers in fake uniform inside his house at night felt like nightmare. He raised hand trying to block door, saying, "You can't come in without warrant." Man ignored, tried stepping in forcefully, his body crossing line of safety. Daniel grabbed door tighter, body shaking now. Because he didn't know what to do, he wasn't fighter, he wasn't law. He was simple man who fixed engines, not fought criminals. Situation moved fast. But Sarah moved faster. She opened drawer beside door slowly like she was reaching napkin. Took out brown leather wallet. Eyes still on fake officers. Body calm like quiet river hiding strong current. She flipped wallet open like habit from another life. Inside golden eagle badge reflected hallway light like sun rising inside darkness. Metal shining. Truth louder than any word. The fake cops froze instantly like someone shot ice into their veins. Daniel couldn't breathe for 1 second. Eyes locked on badge. Memory inside Sarah's eyes showing she knew exactly how to hold it. How to speak next sentence. Because identity never leaves body even when badge leaves pocket. Sarah voice not loud but heavy like mountain falling. She said, "U.S. Marshal." Step back, each word like hammer on fake authority. Her tone calm like truth speaking itself. No yelling, no drama. Only controlled power of someone who earned badge in blood and pain. The 3 men stepped backward fast. Faces draining color like water leaving broken glass. Their eyes wide like fear finally found home. They looked at each other shaking. Realized they touched wrong house, wrong woman, wrong night. First man whispered panic, "It's real." Second man cursed under breath. Third man turned running without waiting order, like cheap soldiers abandoning field when real general arrived. All 3 ran into darkness, footsteps slapping road, jackets flying like black wings of shame. Gone before Daniel understood the world he lived in was never small, never safe, and wife he thought quiet was storm inside gentle smile. Daniel closed door slowly, locking, breathing heavy, body shaking like engine without oil. He turned to Sarah, eyes full of 100 questions but no words. Because mind trying to understand scene where wife he loved and slept beside every night held federal badge like she held memories of wars he never saw. He whispered almost broken, "What are you?" Sarah looked at him with eyes full of 1,000 stories she never told. Stories of gunshots in empty warehouses. Stories of children saved and lost. Stories of partners bleeding. Stories of FBI calls at midnight. Stories that shaped soul into iron under soft skin. She closed wallet gently, placed on table. Hands shaking now because moment passed and emotions rushed like water breaking dam. She whispered with voice quiet but full of history. "I was U.S. Marshal." Daniel felt room spin, like house. He built on trust tilted under weight of truth. He pressed hand to chair for support, breathing low, mixing fear and love and shock inside lungs. He asked, voice shaking, "Why didn't you tell me?" Sarah, eyes soft but sad. "I wanted peace. I wanted normal life. I didn't want my past to be your fear." Daniel's heart broke, little hearing pain in her tone because he realized she carried burden alone to protect him, not to lie, but to love, to give him life without gun in shadow, without fear of knock at night. He stepped closer slowly like learning to walk again in new world. He whispered, "You saved us tonight." Sarah looked away, tears forming small. She said, "Someone sent them." Daniel nervous again. "You think HOA?" Sarah nodded slow, deep anger hidden under calm face. "Someone here thinks they can use fake police to scare people." Daniel remembered argument last week when HOA President Gregory threatened him for parking toolbox outside shed. Said he will send security. Daniel shook head now, not wanting to believe neighbor could do this. But truth louder than denial. Someone hired criminals to pretend officers and enter their home at midnight. Someone dangerous playing with law like toy. Sarah mind. Already planning, not waiting for fear to settle. She walked to kitchen, opened laptop, hands steady, checking online for badge forgery pattern. She cross-checked fake badges memory with database she still had access to. Because some doors never close fully for people who served law at highest level. Daniel watched her fingers move, seeing new person in front of him, not stranger, but woman with deeper history than he ever imagined. And he realized this was same woman he loved every day, only. Truth hidden behind old pain. He sat beside her quietly, not blaming, not angry, only scared that danger touched their home. Sarah clicked few times, showing badges belong to local private security group used for intimidation jobs. Not real agency. Daniel voice low. So someone paid them to scare us. Sarah nodded. Yes, and we need proof who. Daniel jumped. We call police now. Sarah shook head. Not yet, if we move early. They hide trail. We need catch them with evidence. Daniel confused. Heart wanting safety not plan. But he trusted Sarah now in way deeper than before. Because truth changed everything. She was not trying to hide identity. She was trying to protect him from world he didn't know. He whispered, "What do we do?" Sarah looked at door like expecting next knock, voice strong but soft. We wait, we watch, and we expose truth. Her eyes had fire of Marshal again, burning under ashes of retired life. Daniel held her hand shaking. She squeezed back, silent promise forming between them like bonds stronger than fear. Outside street empty. Wind blowing leaves like whispers of danger moving house to house. But now danger knocked wrong door. Because inside lived woman who served law not from words but from heart. Woman who walked out of death many times, and tonight awakened piece of herself buried deep under normal life. Sarah felt fear, yes, but also clarity, truth clear now. Past doesn't disappear because you stop carrying badge. Past follows like shadow waiting to rise when danger close. Daniel stared at her, seeing her strength not just in badge but in eyes. He whispered again with different tone. Not fear but respect. You're Marshal. Sarah small smile. I was. Daniel corrected, voice strong. You. Still are. Because tonight badge didn't shine from metal, it shone from her courage, from calm voice in danger, from truth in heart. And now they stood at beginning of story that would break quiet walls of HOA community built on fake power. And reveal truth bigger than rules. Bigger than gossip. Bigger than fear. Story born from one midnight knock, 3 fake cops, and one real hero hiding inside ordinary wife. Night slowly returning to silence. But silence different now. Deeper. Heavier. Carrying echo of words that changed everything. U.S. Marshal. Echo that would travel through HOA like fire through dry leaves. Burning lies. Burning pride. Burning illusion that small power can control big truth. And Daniel held Sarah's hand tighter. Not to protect her. But to stand beside her. Because tonight he discovered he didn't live with quiet woman. He lived with warrior who chose love over badge. But when danger knocked, she didn't hide behind husband. She stepped forward with truth. Like shield, and that truth would open doors not only to past but to war waiting in shadows of this community where neighbors smile in day and plan danger in night. Daniel sat on the couch like someone waking from dream into nightmare, trying to understand how quiet life he loved cracked open in 1 second, how wife he believed simple held badge heavier than any story ever told in this neighborhood. Living room still dark except small lamp throwing warm shadow on wall like fire burning memory. Into paint, Sarah closed laptop slowly after saving details from fake badge database. Her hands not shaking now because muscle memory took control. Training living inside bones like second language spoken without thinking. She looked tired not from fear but from truth coming back like ghost knocking on locked door inside her heart. Daniel stared at her profile, seeing face he looked at every morning but never truly saw until tonight. He whispered voice soft like paper tearing, "You saved us." Sarah shook head slowly, eyes on screen reflection. "I didn't save us. I exposed myself." Daniel confused, feeling guilt heavy inside chest like stone. "I didn't know." Sarah smiled small sad smile. "You were not supposed to know." She closed laptop, leaned back breathing deep, letting past rise inside lungs like smoke from burning memory, her voice calm but full of weight. "Those 3 men came here because someone in this community wanted to scare you into obeying them, maybe wanted access to house. To see what you keep. To take something." Daniel shocked again. "Me? Why me?" Sarah's eyes met his with truth sharp. "Because you don't bend. You don't play their power game. You don't fear HOA rules." Daniel laughed small bitter laugh. "It was about my truck? Tools." Sarah nodded slow. Ego plays dangerous games when someone has small authority. And that sentence hit Daniel in center of chest like truth he always felt but never said. HOA President Gregory Holmes. Man with perfect hair and fake smile. Man who talked about rules like holy book. Man who threatened Daniel over toolbox outside garage. That man had eyes full of hunger for control. Daniel remembered last week's argument where Gregory shouted in front of neighbors. "You think rules don't apply to you? I will send security." At that time Daniel thought he meant warning. Not this. Not real criminals pretending cops in middle of night. His stomach twisted from anger and disbelief. He stood up pacing room, saying, "I trusted this place. I thought worst thing is someone complaining about fence color. Sarah stood slowly, stepping toward him, placing hand on his shoulder, letting him feel strength inside her palm. She whispered, "People with small power can be more dangerous than criminals, because they hide behind law they don't respect." Daniel shook head. "Why didn't you tell police everything now?" Sarah's eyes turned steel again, heart of Marshal returning to body like armor forming around soft part. "Because if police knock his door now, he shuts everything, destroys evidence, makes story about misunderstanding, and he will target us again through others, or hire a different group. We need to catch connection between him and those fake officers." Daniel heart filled with fear again. "What if they come back?" Sarah smiled faint but fearless. "They won't come same way twice. They got scared tonight. But their boss wants result. Men like him don't stop by losing cheap soldiers." Daniel heard word boss and felt ice spreading through spine. "Boss? You think Gregory working for someone?" Sarah nodded. "Gregory has ego, not intelligence. Someone told him idea. Someone gave him access to private security group. Someone guided him." Daniel realized hole deeper than one small HOA fight. Something bigger moving under quiet lawns. He sat again, head heavy in hands, whispering, "I don't want this life." Sarah sat beside him, turning his face toward her with gentle fingers, eyes soft. "Neither do I, but danger came to us. And I won't let it enter again." Daniel looked at her like seeing. Hero with broken heart trying to build peace from war inside soul. He whispered, "I would have protected you." Sarah smiled, painful smile like mother watching child promise impossible dream. "You would die trying. And that is why I hide truth." Daniel angry at fate, not at her. Angry world always bigger than love. Angry that someone forced her badge out of drawer she wanted locked forever. He whispered, "What happened? Why did you leave Marshal work?" Sarah looked away, eyes distant like watching memory play on wall. She took deep breath like pulling old knife from heart. There was a case, big drug ring. Dangerous men, children used as cover. One child died in crossfire while we tried to save him. His mother screamed my name like I killed her baby. That scream stayed inside me. I left badge on table because I couldn't hold world where innocent die in name of law." Daniel's eyes filled tears without realizing. He touched her cheeks softly like trying to erase pain carved deep. "You tried to save him. That makes you hero." Sarah shook head slow, voice breaking. "Heroes don't bury children." Silence heavy around them like weight of all nights she cried alone when he slept thinking she dreaming of recipes not gunshots. Daniel wrapped arms around her like shield he wished to be earlier when she fought alone. They stayed quiet for long time, breathing together like two hearts trying to heal from different wounds, until knocks sounded again, sharp, loud. This time real police, not pretenders. Daniel jumped, hands shaking. Sarah stood calm like storm turned into ocean. She opened door slowly. Two uniformed officers stood in bright light of porch, real badges shining, real radios crackling. One officer, young face honest, said, "We got report someone saw police presence earlier. We are checking houses." Sarah nodded. "We had incident." Officer eyes serious. "We heard. The neighbor on corner said someone tried breaking in." Daniel surprised. "Neighbor saw?" Officer nodded. "They saw 3 men running. They looked scared." Sarah showed badge quietly, without pride, just truth. Officer eyes widened with respect, not fear. Voice changed instantly. Can you tell us what happened?" Sarah explained short, simple, clean version, not naming Gregory yet. 3 men impersonated police, came to door, tried entering house. Officer cursed under breath. "Police impersonation is serious federal crime." Sarah nodded. "Yes, and someone sent them." Officer looked at her careful like soldier standing in front of general. "Do you know who?" Sarah kept eyes unreadable. "Not fully yet, but we will." Officer nodded, understanding she wasn't civilian afraid. She was trained professional calculating justice in background. His partner said, "We will increase patrol around block tonight. If they come again we catch them." Daniel felt relief. Small candle light in darkness. Sarah thanked them. Officers left after taking small statement. House silent again. Daniel turned to Sarah. "You didn't tell them about Gregory?" Sarah answered calm. "Not until we have proof in hand. If I accuse now, he destroys everything." Daniel pacing again. "How do we get proof?" Sarah walked to table where fake badge details saved on laptop. "We follow money." Daniel confused. Sarah explained. Simple like teaching child truth. Private security group doesn't work for free. Someone paid them. Payment leaves digital trail. HOA funds controlled by board. Gregory signs checks. Daniel shocked at idea that neighbor who argued about grass length could be criminal in suit. Sarah continued. Tomorrow HOA meeting at community hall. We go, we watch, we catch slip, Daniel felt. Strange going to meeting like nothing happened, but Sarah eyes confident. Plan forming like puzzle pieces falling into place fast because mind trained for strategy even in smallest wars. Daniel whispered, "What if he knows you are Marshal?" Sarah breathed deep. "He doesn't know, he thinks you are problem, not me." Daniel frowned. "Then why they came at night when I was home?" Sarah eyes narrow. "Because men like him don't think, they react. They think loudness equals power." Daniel sigh heavy. "This place supposed to be safe." Sarah held his hand again. "It is safe because we make it safe. Not because rules written on paper." Daniel heart shook at wisdom inside her pain. Street outside quiet under moon. Leaves moving like whispers from trees. Telling story of two people who tried living small life but fate opened door to world they left behind. Sarah walked to window, looking out like hunter watching forest for movement. Daniel joined, standing close, eyes scanning dark road, house lights faint, everything peaceful again. But peace now held sharp edge because truth living behind it like blade under silk. Daniel whispered, "You think they come back tonight?" Sarah thought few seconds. "No, they scared, they run to boss angry. Tomorrow they try different way." Daniel not comforted, but trusted her instinct because instinct built from real fights not imagination. Sarah looked at him with small smile to calm him. "We stay awake tonight, sleep after sunrise." Daniel surprised, "You want all night alert?" Sarah nodded. "Yes, if they try again, they will come fast, not knock, not talk." Daniel brain dizzy imagining gunfight in living room. But Sarah calm like she talking about baking bread. Her mind used to danger like man used to heat in workshop. She grabbed chair, sat near window, eyes locked on street. Daniel grabbed another chair, sat beside her. Two silhouettes under moonlight guarding home like soldiers guarding camp in jungle. But now jungle not trees. Jungle minds of neighbors hungry for control. Daniel whispered soft. "How you sit so calm after everything?" Sarah eyes stayed on shadows outside, voice soft but full. "Fear and calm live together. Fear tells you danger. Calm helps you survive." Daniel felt deep respect rising like river inside him because he saw Hero in front not on TV. Hero sitting barefoot near window protecting simple house from evil wearing HOA badge. Hours passed slow. Clock ticking loud in silence. Night cold creeping into room like thin fog of doubt. Daniel fought sleep. Sarah awake like owl guarding nest. Mind replaying scene. Of child died in crossfire. Memory turning into strength, not weakness. Because tonight she saved family and tomorrow she would save community from monster hiding behind smile. Daniel whispered after long silence. "Why me? Why choose me if you wanted normal life?" Sarah smiled small without turning eyes from window. "Because you look at world like something worth fixing, not controlling." Daniel felt tear forming because he never imagined simple heart could attract someone who carried dark world inside her. Sun began rising slow. Sky turning from black to blue. Birds starting tiny songs like nothing changed. But everything changed in one night. Morning light touched Sarah's face. Daniel looked at her. Seeing peace for first time because truth spoken. Removed heavy mask she wore for years. She turned to him, voice soft. "Time to sleep few hours. Meeting soon." Daniel nodded slowly, body exhausted. Mind full of storm but heart calmer than night before. They walked to bedroom holding hands like two survivors walking away from battlefield. Not defeated but stronger because truth now shared not hidden. Outside world woke unaware that real war started last night between truth and ego. Between badge earned in blood and badge bought in market. Between power of love and power of rule written by man scared of losing control. And story not finished, only beginning. Because fate brought Marshal into HOA war where crime hide behind flowers and fences. And tomorrow morning truth will walk into hall wearing simple clothes but carrying badge that scares monsters hiding behind normal faces. Morning arrived like soft lie covering sharp truth from night before. Sunlight falling on roofs and trees as if nothing happened. As if 3 fake cops didn't run through this street in panic. As if badge didn't return from drawer where Sarah buried past like dead memory. Birds sang. Sprinklers hissed. Neighbors opened curtains with sleepy eyes. Unaware that shadows of danger walked outside their house while they dreamed. Unaware that woman watering plants beside their yard once stood against criminals stronger than any HOA rule ever written. Daniel woke after 2 hours sleep, body heavy like stone. Mind full like storm cloud. He stared at ceiling thinking about everything Sarah told him. Thinking about Sarah as Marshal. thinking about Gregory smiling while threat hiding behind handshake. He turned head and saw Sarah sitting at edge of bed tying shoelaces slowly. Hands steady. Face calm but eyes far away. Like two worlds fighting inside one mind. One world full of soft sunlight and coffee. Second world full of gunfire and blood. She finished tying shoes and looked at him with tired smile that tried to hide pain from last night. Daniel sat up rubbing face, voice rough. We really going to HOA meeting like normal? Sarah nodded quietly. Normal is best mask. Daniel didn't like idea but understood her logic. Predator hides best inside peace. She stood and walked to window looking at quiet street. Checking cars parked near clubhouse. Everything felt too peaceful. Like calm before storm. She whispered, police will patrol but they can't monitor inside HOA politics. We need inside truth. Daniel came behind her, put hand on her shoulder. Silence between them heavy. Full of unspoken fear and unspoken love. 2. Hearts now tied by truth deeper than any secret ever told in this house. Sarah breathed slow and walked to kitchen preparing coffee like every morning before. But movements different now, measured, calculated, not soft. Daniel watched how her hand reached cabinet without looking. How her eyes scanned window reflection while stirring cup. She lived two roles at same time now, wife and Marshal. Like two rivers flowing inside same body, coffee smell filled air. Masking tension, Daniel sat and held. Warm mug close, hoping warmth could melt cold fear stuck in spine. They drank quietly, no words. Because silence said everything louder than talk, clock ticked. 9:30 a.m. crawling closer to meeting time where truth would face lie. Where Gregory would stand like king in small kingdom built on rules nobody truly respected. Daniel wore simple shirt. Simple jeans. Boots dirty from garage. Sarah wore plain grey sweater. Hair tied back, no makeup. Nothing showing she was anything more than quiet. Neighbor, except eyes sharp like blade hidden under cloth. They walked together through street toward community hall where HOA meeting held. Neighbors smiled at Daniel, waved at Sarah. Children ran across sidewalks. Someone picked up newspaper. Someone complained about trash day moving schedule. Everything normal, everything small, everything blind. Daniel looked at faces thinking how close they came to danger because of Gregory's ego. Thinking how many of them obey rules out of fear. Not respect. Thinking how leaders who scream about order often hide chaos inside their heart. Sarah walked beside him silent, studying patterns, who watches them. Who avoids eye contact, who smiles too much. She noticed Gregory's house curtains moving slightly, shadow visible behind, like wolf hiding behind fence waiting for prey to walk near. She didn't look long, kept walking calmly, giving no sign she saw him. They reached hall, people already gathering inside, chairs arranged, fruit water on table. Fake calm prepared like perfume to hide smell of rot underneath. Gregory stood at front smiling wide, voice full of fake confidence, greeting neighbors. Like hero, shaking hands like politician. His eyes avoided Daniel and Sarah, showing guilt written in silence not in words. Daniel clenched fist but Sarah touched his wrist, gentle, reminding him to wait. Gregory spoke loud. Good morning, everyone. We had small security incident last night. But I assured police everything fine. Daniel almost choked on anger hearing words small. Sarah stared at Gregory's mouth moving like snake speaking honey words to cover poison actions. Gregory continued. This HOA must be safe. We will create new security program. Neighbors whispered, some excited, some confused. Nobody knew truth behind his words. Nobody knew he hired criminals pretending to be cops to scare family. Sarah raised hand slowly. Room turned quiet because she rarely spoke in meetings. Gregory forced smile. Yes, Sarah, you want to say something? She stood, voice soft but sharp like knife hidden in velvet. Yes, I want to know who approved security group who came last night. Gregory's face froze for fraction of second, then fake smile returned. It was simple misunderstanding. We didn't hire anyone. Maybe some random mistake. Sarah stepped forward without raising voice. Mistake wearing police jackets and trying to enter my house. Room shook with whispering voices, people shocked. Gregory eyes wide but voice loud trying to control narrative. They were volunteers from Neighborhood Watch. Sarah didn't blink, didn't breathe heavy. She reached inside pocket and took out wallet slowly, not flashing badge yet, just placing wallet on hand like truth waiting. She said calm. Neighborhood Watch does not wear police badges. Gregory opened mouth to speak but sound died when she flipped wallet open for everyone to see shining golden eagle. Room frozen like photograph. Neighbors gasped. Some stood, some covered mouths. Because badge is symbol older than any HOA rule. It is symbol of real authority. Not printed paper from office. Sarah didn't raise voice. I served. As U.S. Marshal, silence heavy, thick like wall, nobody moved, even Gregory felt air vanish from lungs. Sarah continued like teacher explaining crime. Last night 3 men impersonated police, tried entering our house without warrant. Impersonation is federal crime. Someone ordered them to do it. Neighbors looked at Gregory slowly, their eyes turning like tide, moving away from him like truth pushing them back. Gregory tried laugh. Fake smile trembling. You accuse me? Are you crazy? Sarah didn't blink. She kept looking at him with gaze that made drug lords cry in interrogation rooms. I don't accuse. I ask questions. She turned to board members. Who paid for security? Board member, nervous woman with shaking hands, whispered accidentally loud enough. Payment signed by Gregory. Room exploded with noise, voices rising like storm, questioning, shouting, pointing fingers. Gregory screamed trying to stop chaos. I wanted safety. Sarah spoke louder without shouting, voice cutting room clean. You paid fake police to scare families, to get control. That is not safety, that is crime. Neighbors now angry, their fear from last night turning into rage for betrayal. Because they trusted Gregory to keep community safe. Gregory stumbled backward, face pale, sweat forming like rain inside fear. He pointed at Daniel. He forced me, he break rules, he refused order. Daniel stood slowly, voice shaking but honest like hammer. Hitting truth. You sent criminals to my house because I parked my truck wrong. Room laughed with disbelief, pain, betrayal. Everyone now saw Gregory small, power-hungry. Insecure man hiding behind rule book like shield. Sarah closed wallet. Badge disappearing into pocket but truth already released from its cage. Gregory started shaking, eyes moving everywhere like rat looking exit. And suddenly man standing near hallway door ran fast trying to escape. Sarah recognized face, one of fake cops. From last night, she didn't think, she didn't wait. She moved, body pure instinct from past, running faster than Daniel ever saw. She reached hallway in seconds, hall echoing sound of her boots hitting floor like thunder. Man tried pushing exit door but Sarah grabbed back of his jacket pulling him down with controlled force. He fell hard hitting knees on ground. She twisted his wrist, took phone from his pocket. Her movements clean like someone who trained 1,000 times. Daniel arrived behind her with board members watching with wide eyes. Sarah handcuffed man using same plastic zip tie she kept in purse from habit she never lost. Man screamed small. Neighbors pouring into hallway watching scene like movie but real, painful, true. Daniel looked at Sarah like seeing sunrise and lightning same time. Fear and pride mixing like storm meeting ocean. Sarah unlocked his phone with fingerprint she forced by pressing thumb. All messages visible. All truth revealed in front of Daniel and neighbors. Top messages. Make him follow rules. Scare wife. Do not hurt them. Just enter house. Send a name. Gregory Holmes. Sarah turned screen to crowd. People gasped. Truth heavy like rock thrown through glass walls of lies. Police arrived within minutes. Real police. With real badges. Neighbors moved aside like river opening path for truth. Officers saw scene. Saw Sarah's badge again. Saw suspect handcuffed, and everything made sense. Officer took phone, reading messages, face turning. Disappointed like father seeing child become thief. They arrested man, read him rights. Gregory tried running through side exit but Daniel blocked him. Standing in front like wall, Gregory tried speak, beg, explain. But words came broken. I just wanted respect. Sarah replied cold like winter steel. Respect cannot be taken by fear. Police handcuffed Gregory. Neighbors watched silent, eyes full of judgment, pain, betrayal. Meeting ended not by votes but by truth. Truth louder than any argument. Gregory taken away, board dissolved, security program cancelled, hall emptying slowly. Neighbors leaving whispering about Sarah, about badge, about how danger hid behind perfect lawns. Daniel walked beside Sarah holding her hand tight. World looking different now. People looked at her with respect deep like ocean. Not fear, not gossip, respect for courage who sleeps beside them. For hero they never saw because hero hides under simple clothes. Not cape. They reached home walking slow under sunlight. Daniel closed door, turned to Sarah, tears in eyes without shame, whispered. I didn't know your heart was this strong. Sarah smiled small, tired. My heart broke many times. That is why it's strong now. Daniel hugged her like man hugging life. breathing her hair like breathing peace after hurricane. She hugged back, finally letting past sit beside present without hiding, without fear. She whispered in his ear. "We are safe now," Daniel whispered, voice shaking. "You made us safe." Outside window. Sun bright like truth shining after storm, but inside house Sarah heart heavy, because she knew storm never ends completely. Waves may calm but sea always deep, and maybe tomorrow someone else knock, someone from her past, someone from her next mission, because message already waiting on her phone, unknown number with words simple, "Need you." And she looked at it with eyes tired but ready. Daniel saw message on screen, heart heavy but proud. He whispered, "You won't stop," she answered soft. "I tried, but this is who I am." Daniel kissed her forehead, no fear in lips now, only respect, love deeper than before, because truth not wall between them anymore, truth bridge connecting two souls that walked different paths but ended in same home. And somewhere far neighbor closed curtains, shaken by what happened, telling story in whispers. Sarah Reed, quiet woman, polite wife, simple neighbor, actually warrior with badge hidden in drawer, and community that judged toolbox and truck now. Learned lessons stronger than any rulebook knows. Real authority comes from protecting others, not controlling them, and sometimes hero lives next door watering plants while carrying history heavier than whole HOA combined. The meeting ended with police cars flashing silent red and blue lights across the HOA street like broken heartbeat bleeding color into morning air. Neighbors standing outside in small groups whispering about truth they never imagined lived behind white fences and flower pots. Truth that HOA president who fined people for wrong curtains actually hired fake cops to enter a family's house at midnight. Truth that quiet woman who smiled politely at barbecue was actually US Marshal who held badge heavy with history and eyes heavy with pain of battles nobody in this peaceful street could understand. Gregory sat inside police car with cuffs cutting wrist, face pale like ghost who finally saw mirror showing real soul. Board members stood frozen near entrance, some crying, some shaking, because people they trusted, elected, praised in meetings, abused power like children playing with gun. Sarah watched everything from steps of hall, arms crossed not from arrogance but from exhaustion, heart beating like slow drum from emotional storm inside. Daniel stood beside her like anchor in hurricane, eyes red from sleepless night and shock from watching wife transform from calm neighbor into force that broke lies with simple truth. They didn't speak. Silence between them. Deeper than words, police drove away taking Gregory and one fake cop to station. Crowd slowly broke. People walked home with heads low, embarrassed, scared, enlightened. But conversation never ended. It traveled house to house behind closed doors like wind carrying seeds of new truth. Sarah is Marshal. Gregory lied. We all followed him because of fear. Faces pale under sun that now felt too bright, like world trying to hide cracks with light. Sarah and Daniel walked home slowly, steps heavy, not from distance but from weight of truth now open. Sarah looked straight, no pride, no victory glow, only sadness in her chest because exposing evil never brings joy. It brings quiet pain of knowing how close world comes to darkness when nobody checks power. They entered house, closed door. Daniel breathed long like man trying to release fear stuck inside ribs since midnight. He sat on couch, head in hands, whispering, "How can this be happening in small neighborhood?" Sarah sat beside him, touching his back gently, voice low. Danger hides easiest in small places because nobody looks there. Daniel lifted head, staring into her eyes like searching for world behind them. "You think it's over?" Sarah looked away, eyes drifting like cloud covering memory. Gregory wasn't mastermind. He was puppet with ego strings. Daniel felt cold inside. Then who? Sarah stood, walking to window, eye scanning street like hunter searching for tracks invisible to normal eyes. Someone gave him idea. Someone gave him group contact. Someone who knows how to control people using fear. Daniel walked beside her, looking out too, seeing nothing but birds and cars, watching children playing near park again like innocence returned too fast for truth to leave mark. He whispered, "Why would someone do this over small HOA rule?" Sarah turned to him, face intense. Because power never small for people who never had it. Even small control feels like crown for empty heart. But someone intelligent stands behind this. Someone who knows how badge looks, how police talk, how to manipulate. Daniel shook head, tired of suspicion. Maybe Gregory just crazy, Sarah thought. Crazy doesn't use correct format to order badges. Messages were written in code-style criminals used to avoid charges. Not HOA language, Daniel remembered. Messages she showed to neighbors, cold text typed like business order, scare him, make him follow rules, do not hurt them. It didn't sound like Gregory's dramatic tone. It sounded like someone used to giving orders. Daniel whispered, someone else typed. Sarah nodded slowly. Phone shows Gregory as sender, but grammar different in some messages. Someone else typing using his phone or forcing him. Daniel felt world tilt again. Like floor moving, Sarah breathed slow, controlling fear with training. I need access to HOA computer. Daniel confused. Why? Sarah looked around house like walls listening. HOA controls money. Payments go through account. If someone routed payment to private group, we find it in logs. Daniel surprised. Like hacking. Sarah smiled small without humor. Like investigation. Daniel sighed, rubbing face. How do we get inside office? Sarah eyes sharp again. Board dissolved. Building locked. Police will hold keys until new vote. But I know timeline. They log everything daily. If we move fast, we get access legally. Daniel confused again. Legally. Sarah nodded. I call my old contact in district office. Explain situation. Ask them to process emergency evidence hold. Daniel looked scared again. Won't that expose you? Sarah's voice soft. I already exposed. Badge out. No reason to hide now. Daniel touched her hand softly, fearing for her. I don't want you back in world that hurt you. Sarah raised his hand to her cheek, eyes wet but strong. World doesn't leave you because you leave it. World knocks again. You choose if you open door or hide. Daniel swallowed, seeing truth inside eyes deeper than any fear he felt. She stepped away gently, taking phone. Calling number saved under simple label S. No name. Shown. Voice answered soon. Man voice old, calm, Sarah. Sarah closed eyes for second. Memory hitting like wind from past. I need evidence hold on HOA office. Impersonation case. Civilian victim. Private security hired illegally. Man silent for moment, then voice professional. You back? Sarah smiled sad. Just helping. Man tone softer, like father speaking. You never left. Sarah looked at Daniel, whispering like promise. I did. Man gave instructions direct. Whole team arrives in 2 hours. Local police must secure building. You supervise. He paused. Take care, Sarah. She whispered. Always. Call ended. Silence heavy again. Daniel stared like watching door opening to history he never saw. He whispered. You talk like general commanding army. Sarah smiled small. Tired. I talk like someone who knows how criminals hide. Daniel didn't argue. He felt or mixed with fear. Love mixed with sorrow. She returned to couch, leaning head on his shoulder for short time. Breathing slow like trying to rest soul between battles. They sat quiet. No TV. No noise. Silence loud like truth talking between hearts. Until door knocked softly. Daniel stiff. Sarah calm. She opened door. Officer from last night stood there. Face gentle but worried. Marshal read. Sarah corrected small. Just Sarah. Officer smiled awkward. We secured HOA office. District called us. We wait for whole team. They said you'll supervise. Daniel watched officer eyes change when speaking to Sarah. Respect deeper than uniform. Sarah nodded serious. I will come in 1 hour. Officer nodded. Also, neighbors scared. Rumors spreading. We need statement for calm. Sarah looked down thinking, then nodded. I will speak to community tonight. Answer questions. Officer relieved. Good. They trust you now. He left. Sarah closed door slowly. Daniel whispered shocked. You will speak to whole HOA. Sarah eyes soft but determined. They need truth. Fear breaks people. Truth holds them. Daniel hugged her suddenly, arm tight around shoulders. I love you. Sarah melted against him, whispering back, I know. Voice full of pain and comfort. She stepped back, wiping corner of eye quick, not wanting tear to become weakness. We go now. Daniel nodded. They walked out together towards HOA office. Street quiet. People watching through windows. Kids playing on sidewalk but parents' eyes on Sarah like. Watching legend walking under sunlight. They reached building. Police tape around door. Officer outside saluted her softly like respect for soldier coming home. She entered. Daniel behind. Office smell like old paper and cheap perfume of stress. Cabinets open. Files stacked. Computer still on but locked. Sarah sat on chair. Mind switching to mode Daniel never saw. Fingers moving fast like dancer over keyboard after police unlocked system for her. She checked financial logs. Spreadsheet messy. Like mind of man hiding lies. She saw payments labeled safety maintenance, amount $12,500, paid to company name sounding like fake charity. She opened vendor details, address local motel, number burner phone style, but contract signed by Gregory digital signature. Daniel leaned close, whispering, "This is evidence." Sarah nodded slight, voice low, evidence of crime, and someone guiding him. She found note attached under file, encrypted message, small text hidden behind white space. She decrypted fast, coding skill alive in memory. Message appeared, first step complete, next step. Compliance spread, Daniel confused, what spread? Sarah eyes widened, heartbeat rising. He wasn't only targeting us. Planned to scare whole community. One by one. Until everybody obeys, Daniel shocked. Why? Sarah whisper cold, to control property values, push people out, take houses cheap, resell. Daniel sick inside, who wants that? Sarah thought, developer? Investor? Someone with money and no morals. She printed logs, took phone photo backup, every piece needed for case. She stood, hands shaking small from adrenaline and anger. Daniel held her shoulders, turning her face. This is bigger than Gregory. Sarah nodded. Yes, Daniel whispered scared. Then we are in danger. Sarah eyes soft but strong. We were in danger last night. Now we have truth. Police whole team arrived, wearing suits, calm voices, treating Sarah like colleague, not civilian. She gave files, explained patterns. They understood fast. One officer said, "This smells like housing takeover case. Cartel used HOA before in other cities." Daniel dizzy, world spinning again. Cartel? Violence? Guns? War inside peaceful street? He stepped back, breathing heavy. Sarah touched his hand, reminding him she here, not hiding, not lying. Officer promised. We take over now. But you must prepare community for hearing. Many questions. Many scared. Sarah nodded. They left office, walked outside. Wind cold now, sun hot but truth colder. Daniel asked broken voice, what now? Sarah looked at sky like searching answer written on clouds. Now we protect people, not from fake cops, but from fear. Daniel held her hand tight, whispering, "You don't have to do everything alone." Sarah eyes wet. "I did alone before, and it destroyed me. Now I have you." Daniel pulled her into hug deep, like shield around her, like circle of safety she never had before. She hugged him back, letting tears fall small, hidden in his shoulder fabric. She whispered, "I need you this time, Daniel." Voice strong like promise, "I'm here." They walked home slowly, neighbors watching through curtains like shy animals staring at fire. Some came outside pretending casual walk but eyes full of questions and gratitude. One old lady touched Sarah's hand gently, whispering, "Thank you for protecting us." Sarah smiled soft. "It's my job." Old lady shook head. "Not job, heart." Those words hit Sarah deep, deeper than badge ever did, because someone saw human behind uniform, saw pain behind strength. They reached house. Daniel cooked simple lunch. Both ate quiet, body tired, mind busy. But silence warm now, not lonely like before. After meal, Sarah sat writing notes for evening, planning how to talk to people without making them panic. Daniel watched her write, seeing how she thought about others first. Even when fear inside her heavy like stone, he whispered, "You are hero." Sarah looked up, eyes soft. "Heroes don't feel fear." "I feel fear," Daniel whispered back. "Real heroes feel fear and still protect." She smiled small, heart warming slowly after years of cold memory. They prepared evening meeting, sun lowering like slow curtain, street turning gold red, air calm before people gather again for second truth in one day. Tonight she would stand before community not as hidden Marshal, not as polite neighbor, but as someone broken and rebuilt stronger. Someone who left badge to find peace but returned badge to protect. Peace? Daniel stood beside her, ready to answer, ready to stand. Ready to face fear, together, and somewhere distant. Unknown eyes watch street. Unknown person checking phone. Reading news of Gregory's arrest. Planning next move. Because war bigger than HOA rule, war for houses, money, control, and Sarah didn't know yet how deep this hole was. But tonight she would speak truth, and tomorrow truth would bring danger again. But she wasn't alone now, and that gave her courage she lost years ago when child died in crossfire. Courage reborn in small house under quiet sky where neighbors smiled during day but learned in night that real protection not badge on jacket but badge in heart. Evening settled on the HOA slowly like tired blanket falling over wounded day. Orange sunlight melting into shadow between houses where fear still lived silent even after Gregory taken away in handcuffs. Truth exposed but danger not dead. People gathered again in Community Hall at 7 p.m. Faces full of new respect for Sarah and new fear for everything they ignored before. Chairs full, whispers everywhere. She was Marshal. Gregory planned takeover. Someone else behind. Lights felt brighter like room tried to hide darkness just outside glass windows where night waited like patient hunter. Daniel stood beside Sarah on small stage, hand touching her back lightly, not to guide her but to remind her she not alone anymore. She looked at crowd, eyes filling with responsibility heavier than badge she kept in pocket, her voice soft but clear when she spoke. We learned danger doesn't always come from strangers, sometimes. It grows inside our own community when power used without responsibility. Room silent, every word sticking to hearts like truth carved on wall. She continued slow. Gregory didn't act alone. He was used by someone who wanted control over this neighborhood. Maybe to force people to sell homes. Maybe to increase property value for unknown buyer. Investigation continues. Neighbors stiffened, fear crawling in veins. Some mothers hugged children tight. Old man removed glasses, wiping eyes not from tears but from shame that he trusted wrong person. Sarah looked at them not with judgment but with empathy heavy like she carried their fear inside her own chest. But fear should not control you. Truth protects you, law protects you. She held badge in hand but didn't lift it high like trophy. She showed quietly like sign of promise. I spent years serving law. I know danger, but I also know how to fight it. Neighbors nodded slowly. Some clapped soft like respect not celebration. Meeting ended with heavy air but also softer hearts because now they knew real enemy not toolbox on driveway or trash bin on wrong day. Real enemy was power without conscience. Sarah and Daniel walked out with crowd, people thanking her, shaking hands, eyes filled with hope, like she carried son inside jacket pocket. Daniel smiled small but proud like man who saw wife walk through fire and come back carrying others out. Night colder now, sky dark without stars because clouds moved like curtain hiding moon. They walked home slow, hands locked tight like two soldiers walking away from battle into peace they built themselves. But peace fragile, thin like paper when wind of danger blows again. They reached house, closed door, lights warm inside but silence heavy like deep water. Daniel asked soft, "You think they believe everything now?" Sarah nodded, taking off sweater, hanging near door. They believe because they saw proof. But belief not enough. We must protect them. Daniel sighed, sitting. Who is behind all this? Why take houses? Sarah sat beside him, eyes staring at wall without seeing paint. In many cities, criminal groups move money through real estate. Buy cheap houses, sell high, use HOA pressure to push families out. Gregory's ego only tool they used to start plan. Daniel angry. So our home target. Sarah touched his hand. Not just us, everyone here. Daniel felt responsibility like weight added to shoulders. Heavy but meaningful because protecting community felt like protecting Sarah. Protecting peace she tried to build here to escape world that broke her. They sat quiet minutes, listening to fridge hum. Wind shaking leaves outside. Night looking peaceful like predator hiding under soft fur. Sarah stood and checked window locks. Every latch turned twice. Daniel watched her habits return. Like old uniform, he whispered, "You never really stopped being Marshal." Sarah looked at him with half smile. "I tried." Her eyes sad but calm. She walked to table opening laptop, checking emails from investigation team. Nothing new, nothing clear, only one message, buyer identified soon. She closed screen. Fear growing not from unknown but from waiting. Waiting always worst part for soldier because silence before bullet louder than bullet. Daniel leaned back on couch. Exhaustion heavy but brain awake. We sleep. Sarah shook head slow, not dramatic, just instinct. Not yet. Tonight first night after exposure. Enemy reacts when plan broken. Daniel swallowed, throat dry. You think someone will come? Sarah walked to window again, eyes scanning dark street lines like reading map invisible to normal eyes. They may send someone to recover documents from office, or silence Gregory, or scare us again. Daniel stood beside her, heart pounding, not wanting to let fear control house. We call police patrol, Sarah nodded. I already did before meeting. They will circle block every hour. But criminals don't move loud when they know police looking. Daniel chills. Sneaky. Sarah nodded, quiet, night deepened, street empty. Wind cold like warning. They turned off lights, leaving only small lamp on table. Sitting near window in shadows where they could see outside but nobody see them, Daniel whispered, "How you live like this before?" "Not sleeping." Sarah answered without emotion, hiding behind voice. "You don't sleep when someone might kill your witness in midnight." Daniel felt pain in chest for her. Pain for nights she cried alone because world didn't respect her humanity, only her badge. He placed arm around her shoulders. She rested head lightly, eyes still scanning outside, hearts beating close, fear and love mixing same breath. Hours passed slow like dripping water from broken tap. 11 p.m. turned to 1 a.m. Silence thick like wet blanket. Daniel fighting sleep, Sarah awake without blinking like owl watching mice in field. She saw movement near mailbox across street. Small shadow, maybe cat, maybe raccoon, maybe man wearing dark clothes. She narrowed eyes, focusing. Shadow moved slow, too heavy for animal, too silent for neighbor. He crouched near street drain, pulling something wrapped in plastic. Sarah's heart jumped. Adrenaline flooding veins like old friend returning. She whispered, "Someone there." Daniel looked, didn't see. Clearly, fear spiking, call police. Sarah shook head small. Wait. If he sees patrol he hide again. Let him reach objective. Daniel whispered scared. Objective. Sarah whisper cold, dead drop, meaning someone left hidden item for pickup. Maybe money, maybe USB, maybe documents. Sarah watched man stand holding packet tight, looking around like owl afraid, then moving slowly toward HOA office direction. But office sealed, police tape across. He looked angry, changed direction toward houses, moving near Sarah's house, heart beating heavy in Daniel's chest like hammer hitting inside. Sarah placed hand on his knee, calming him. Stay. She stood, walking silent. To back door, unlocking quietly. Daniel grabbed her arm, whispering painful, "Don't go alone." Sarah eyes soft, "I'm not alone." She kissed his forehead small like warrior blessing loved one before battle. She stepped outside like shadow merging with night. Door closing without sound. Daniel breath held hostage inside chest. Eyes watching through window, seeing her move low. Body trained to blend with darkness. She walked around driveway, behind bushes. Approaching man from angle where. Streetlight blind to her shape. Man reached trash bin near side of house. Pulling second packet taped under bin lid. Whispering curse. Stupid idiot got caught. He turned to leave fast. Sarah stepped behind him quiet like ghost stepping onto earth. Voice soft but sharp enough to cut spine. Drop it. Man froze like ice. Didn't turn first second. Mind racing, calculating. Her voice steady. No fear, no anger. Just authority older than night itself. U.S. Marshal. Hands up. Man panicked, dropping. Packet hitting ground soft. Turning fast, swinging small knife desperate like rat cornered. Sarah moved fast, grabbing wrist. Twisting control pressure on nerve. Knife dropped. Man screamed, small breath pain. She pushed him against fence. One hand pinning arm. Other removing zip tie from pocket. Tying wrists fast like muscle memory. Daniel rushed out now, unable to wait. Fear beating him hard. He reached Sarah, voice shaking, "Are you okay?" Sarah nodded, breath deep, body steady, man groaning, calling names. "You don't know who they are. They kill me." Sarah whispered near his ear, voice cold like truth. "Then start talking. Because silence kills faster." Police patrol car arrived by luck or timing. Lights flashing soft, not loud. Officer stepped out, seeing Sarah holding suspect. Eyes wide, respect again. "You caught him?" Sarah nodded, pointing to packet on ground. Dead drop, evidence. Officer collected packet wearing gloves. Daniel looking pale, seeing how danger touched yard like snake entering living room. Officer cuffed suspect. Reading rights, suspect screaming names. "It's bigger than you think." They by whole street. Sarah eyes narrowed. "Who?" Suspect shook head, tears mixing with sweat. "I don't know real name. They call him investor." Sarah looked to Daniel, equal parts fear and understanding. "We were." "Right." Police took man into car, drove slow, not loud, not dramatic. Because night still sleeping around. Sarah picked second packet from trash bin. Handed to officer gloved. Daniel put hand on her arm, whispering quiet pain. "This danger not small. Cartel? Mafia? Investor? We just family." Sarah touched his cheek. "They think we small, but we have truth." Daniel felt bravery flow from her body into his like heartbeat shared. Police left, street empty again. Wind softer now like night exhale. Sarah returned inside. Closing door, locking twice, breathing long. Daniel followed like shadow, mind spinning, nerves burned. He asked, "What if they come again?" Sarah tired but voice still iron. "Then we catch again, until they stop, until law reaches them." Daniel hugged her tight like he trying to hold world from falling. She hugged back, tears drying fast on cheek, whispering into his chest, "I won't let them take this home." Daniel whispered, voice shaking from pride and fear, "You saved whole community tonight." Sarah put forehead on his, closing eyes, breathing his breath, "I saved us." They sat down together on couch, silence around them heavy but not empty, silence full of future fight, future strength. Sarah leaned head on Daniel's shoulder. He held her hand long against chest like holding sun inside darkness. He whispered, "Will we ever have quiet life?" Sarah smiled tiny, eyes sad but light inside. Quiet life has noise when truth sleeps. Better loud truth than quiet lie. Daniel kissed top of her head gentle, eyes closing slow, letting exhaustion pull him inside sleep. Sarah awake longer, thinking, planning, heart full of love and fear equal weights. She whispered into dark room where clock tick like heartbeat of war starting slow. "Tomorrow we find investor." And wind outside answered like whisper through trees, sounding like voice of night, saying, "Story not over." Morning didn't feel like morning, it felt like thin layer of light painted over night that didn't truly end. Because inside house silence heavy like storm still sitting in corners. Daniel woke early, eyes burning from fear and lack of sleep. He looked at Sarah sleeping light on couch, badge lying quietly on table like old friend returned after long journey. He watched her face relaxed for first time in days, like body finally allowed to rest after fight. He didn't wake her. He sat on floor, beside couch, watching sun slowly enter room through curtains, painting her hair gold, his heart full of respect deeper than any fear he felt. She wasn't superhero from movies. She was human who bled, who cried in dark, who carried memories nobody wanted but someone had to. She fought not for glory but for one small peaceful life with him. And world broke door again forcing her to wear armor she tried to bury. Daniel breathed soft, whispering to sleeping Sarah, "I'm here, like promised to. Protect not from danger but from loneliness that ate her heart during old life." She woke after few minutes like she heard whisper inside dream, eyes opening slowly, scanning room quick like instinct. Then calming when she saw Daniel close, she smiled soft like first sunlight, whispering, "You didn't sleep?" Daniel touched her cheek gentle. "I watched you sleep, first time without fear." She sat, stretching shoulders, body still stiff from fight outside last night. She looked at window, voice low, "We have work today." Daniel frowned. "Work?" She nodded. "Suspect last night spoke about investor. We find out who that is before he sends someone else." Daniel swallowed fear. "You think someone dangerous behind all this?" Sarah eyes deep like ocean hiding storm. "Yes, dangerous because they don't use guns. They use people. They use rules. They use greed." Daniel whispered broken, "I don't want lose you." Sarah touched his hand tight. "You won't?" Words strong but eyes showing pain of promise heavy to hold. She stood and changed clothes into simple black jacket, hair tied tight, face calm like soldier but soft like wife. Daniel watched her transform like day melting into night inside one body. They left house after coffee, walking slow to avoid drawing eyes, but neighbors watching from windows like. Community learned to see danger not in toolbox but in shadows of men who called themselves leaders. Many came outside saying thank you quietly, not wanting to make scene. Some hugged Sarah without asking permission because fear turned into gratitude overnight. Old man from last house whispered in Sarah's ear, "My son lives in city where HOA killed family with stress. Thank you for stopping it here." Sarah eyes wet for second, pain and pride mixing like warm and cold water. She nodded, walking with Daniel toward community hall for private meeting with police and federal team. Hall empty except 4 suits, 2 local police, laptop open on table showing map of property purchases around city. Red dots marking houses of interest. Lines connecting HOA directly to shell company called Skybuild Holdings. Federal agent pointed at map, voice heavy. This company bought 30 houses in 2 years using fake liens. HOA pressure, intimidation tactics, then resold to larger company for profit. Daniel jaw tight, "They wanted our house?" Agent nodded. "Yes." Your defiance slowed spread. "They wanted to scare you into selling." Daniel shook head in disbelief. "All this for money?" Agent tone cold. "Not money, power with money." Sarah spoke calm. "Who runs Skybuild?" Agent pulled paper. Photo of clean man in expensive suit. Smiling like success story from magazine. Name printed, Richard Kane. Daniel eyes widened. I've seen him, in meeting. Investor who donated to park renovation. Agent. Nodded, yes, he buys trust first, then buys property. Sarah whispered, wolf wearing silk. Agent continued. He used Gregory because Gregory wanted importance. Needed validation. Perfect puppet. Daniel filled with anger. So Gregory ruined families for man he never met. Sarah looked at photo long like reading face behind mask. Kane doesn't leave fingerprints. He leaves people to take fall. Agent nodded. We need connection between Gregory payment and Kane. We found partial trail but need more. Sarah looked at Daniel. Phone from suspect last night. Agent smiled impressed. Already searching. Text logs show contact with unknown number traced to Kane's front company. Daniel whispered like explosion inside mind. So, Gregory jail, but Kane free? Agent answered heavy. For now. But we will get him. Sarah stood straight, voice controlled. We testify. Daniel shocked. We. Sarah touched his chest. Truth witnessed by two hearts stronger than law paper alone. Agent nodded approving. Your testimony can break chain, but it brings attention. Kane doesn't like walls he built falling. Daniel nervous? Danger again? Sarah nodded. Yes, but danger becomes smaller when truth bigger. Daniel held her hand tight like anchor. Agent said, tonight hearing for emergency HOA restructure. Community will elect new board. They want Sarah to lead temporarily. Daniel looked at her surprised. Lead. Sarah eyes soft but firm. Not forever. Just now. To rebuild safety. Daniel afraid of weight it brings. Millions eyes watching. She smiled small. Just few hundred hearts needing peace. Daniel saw love for community in her tone. Love she didn't know she had until danger woke it. She wanted protect not one house but all. Because child's death in past broke her faith. But saving community now maybe heals piece of her soul. She agreed quiet. I accept. Evening came fast like sun ran away. Leaving moon to hold night alone. Meeting held outside on grass so people feel open not trapped. Candle lights around yard like small stars. Neighbors silent waiting like children waiting for truth story. Sarah stepped forward wearing normal clothes. Badge not visible but truth visible in eyes. Daniel stood behind like shield without metal. Federal agent watching from edge like silent guardian. Sarah spoke slow, voice soft but every word heavy. We lived in fear because we trusted wrong person. We gave power without checking heart behind it. She looked around. But fear can end tonight, not by anger, but by unity. Daniel felt pride like warm flood in chest. She continued. I will lead board temporary. To rebuild rules that protect not control. People clapped slowly rising louder like hope blooming in garden left dry too long. Old lady wiped tears. Kids clapped without knowing why. But feeling good people winning, Sarah ended. We stand together now. No fake police. No threats, only truth. Meeting closed with new votes. Sarah elected unanimously. Not because badge, but because heart showed when badge revealed truth. Neighbors came hugging her, thanking Daniel, laughing with relief, like heavy storm past finally leaving fresh air. But Sarah eyes scanning crowd because victory always smells sweet 1 second before next danger hits. And her instinct right, agent approached, whispering low. Kane disappeared this afternoon, left city. Sarah nodded. He will return when safe. Agent part surprised she understood criminal mind so deep. Daniel stood beside, hearing words, fear cold but controlled now, because he trusted Sarah, not world, not system, her, only her. Meeting slowly ended, candles blown, night cool. They walked home slow, hand in hand, moonlight on street like soft blanket. Quiet now, safe a moment, entering house. Daniel closed door gentle, turned to her, voice shaking from emotion. I never knew you like this, so strong. Sarah removed jacket, placed badge on table, whispering with tear falling slow. I was strong before, but alone. Now I am strong with you. Daniel hugged her long, like two hearts stitching scars together. She cried in silence, not from pain but from healing. Because truth shared is truth healed. They sat on couch, lights dim, world outside calm for tonight. Daniel whispered. You saved them all. Sarah whispered back. We saved. Because his courage behind her gave safety she never had before. She leaned on his shoulder. Eyes closing slowly, tired from war but filled with peace like flower growing in cracked soil. She slept. Daniel awake a bit. Watching badge shiny under lamp. Thinking how metal changed fate of hundreds. Thinking how love built stronger walls than fence, he whispered to Badge, "Thank you for giving her to me," and turned off light, holding her hand while sleeping, darkness safe finally, morning waiting with slow breath, somewhere far Kane watching news. Angry smile fading, planning next city. Next HOA, but he didn't know this time federal eyes following. He didn't know community ready. He didn't know woman he tried break now stronger than night, and story closed with soft line written in silence. Sometimes heroes don't fly, they sit quietly watering plants, hiding Badge in drawer, until darkness knocks wrong door, and when it does, truth wakes like fire and burns lies until dawn comes clean again.